Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I am your host, JD. And joining me today is one of my guys from my time at FGCU, one of my brothers that helped me start this brand, helped me get going with these interviews. My guy who's now playing pro ball in Portugal overseas, Caleb Catto. How's it going, man?
O sexto também. Washington tenta passar ali pelo meio de Quimi e de Cato. E agora Cato vai lá em cima e vai finalizar esta transição. 2 pontos.
My man, I appreciate you having me on. Like I said, always good to see your face.
Absolutely, man. Definitely excited to have you on. You've been through a great journey throughout your career so far. And this past year alone, you finished up college ball, playing for the FGCU Eagles, and then now making, obviously, wrapping up your season at the professional level, your rookie year in the pros over in Portugal. Talk to me real quick about this past year alone, what this experience has been like for you with all of these different changes and new experiences.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to sum it all up, but it's been a great experience. Just like any journey in life, some highs, some lows, some new things you learn, stuff like that. But overall, it's been a great experience, a great learning experience, I should say. On the court and obviously off the court as well. In a different country, different language, didn't really know anybody coming in, so there's just a lot that goes into it. But I'm really just super grateful that I had the opportunity to do something like this, man.
Yeah, and I mentioned how you wrapped up your college career, 5 years at FGCU. That's where I originally met you. I did stats for you for the longest time, and trust me, I was one of your biggest fans. My stats people could not get me to shut up every time you made a three. 1,297 career points, 360 assists, 228 career threes. I mean, you were up there in the record books for so many different stats. How would you really summarize your time at FGCU? Because not only were you one of their star players, but you were a fan favorite. Everybody loved Caleb Catto. So what was that like the 5 years being an Eagle?
Man, it was a great experience. Just being close to home. My parents got to come to every home game. Um, just a lot of great memories, great times, a lot of great people, including yourself. That's the reason I'm on, here talking to you. So appreciate you, man. But yeah, just it's hard to sum it up, like I said, with kind of the journey out here. It seems so long ago that I was at FGCU, and I really, was there a year ago. So, but like I said, just the company during my time there was probably the best part for me. So many lifelong relationships. Um, I met my girlfriend, so that's a big plus. Basketball was, it was a learning experience. Um, Great moments, some low moments, some adversity you go through. But yeah, it was a great experience, and I'm forever grateful for that experience.
Yeah, we were all very happy to hear when you decided to use that fifth year option because of the COVID year. You got that year back. And the crazy part about your fifth year was a lot of people were wondering if you were even going to continue playing college basketball. Coach Michael Fly ended up leaving, and Coach Pat Chambers came in, and you and him had a talk. You ended up deciding to stay for that fifth year. What was that like for you as that graduate guy, that fifth year player, having spent the first 4 years with one coach and that final year in a completely different system under Pat Chambers?
Looking back, it's something I'm super thankful that I chose to do. I didn't know if I wanted to keep playing basketball. I was kind of at a peace with kind of moving on with the next chapter of my life. But first of all, I'm just super appreciative for Coach Fly. Obviously, someone who recruited me, gave me the opportunity to play. So super grateful for him, and obviously the staff that was under him during his time there. And then super thankful for Coach Chambers as well, because it's not a lot of times when there's a new coach coming in that not just me, but he kept all the guys. That was his main goal coming in, was to keep the dudes that were there. That's just a testament to the coach he is, and you know, um, him wanting to keep the dudes who were there, keep their opportunities alive. So obviously it was a different system, different style between the two coaches. Um, and I really enjoyed my last year at FGCU. Just with the dudes who I'd been playing with before, and then new dudes coming in, obviously with the new coach. So yeah, it was a great experience. We started out really well in the non-conference. I think we were 10-2, maybe 11-2, maybe 11-3 going into conference. And then we hit a little bit of adversity throughout conference play. So yeah, it was a mixture of a lot of things, but super appreciative. Learned a lot that year, and I'm super grateful.
And I know Coach Chambers still talks very highly about you and the culture that you helped set for the Eagles program during his first year as the head coach. And, after you left, you mentioned him keeping all those guys, Cyrus Largie, Franco Miller, Dakota Rivers, they all, multiple year veterans for the Eagles. They had to take a leadership role this past season after you left, but everyone still looked to you as that guy that really helped set the tone for what this program is going to be over the next few years. How would you say you helped leave FGCU in a better place after your college career ended?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, from my perspective, and from a basketball standpoint, it's hard for me to see that I left it in a better place. Just obviously from the record standpoint and stuff like that. Um, but I think the biggest thing I tried to do, and hopefully that I did, was just be a good teammate, um, and do things the right way as far as following coaches, playbook, his vision, and stuff like that. So I think the biggest thing for me was just trying to do things the right way, and I was never the most vocal person when it came to the team aspect of things. But I think I really grew a lot, and Coach Chambers really challenged me a lot in my last year to be more of a vocal leader. So I would say the biggest thing for me, as far as trying to leave it in a better place, would be more so on the aspect of doing things the right way, and being a good person, being a good teammate, and those things will carry on in life, and being a good human being, a good man, a good father, which that's a lot of what Coach Chambers and the coaches I've had kind of harp on, is if you do things the right way in this game, it corresponds a lot to life. So
Yeah, and obviously wrapped up your college career as one of the best Eagles in FGCU program history. Made the move to Portugal to start your professional career. You're about to wrap up your rookie season. This season as a whole, according to Eurobasket.com, I looked at your stats. It says you're averaging about 12 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 52.5% from the field as a whole. You've had some great games for Vitoria Sport Club. Talk to me real quick about that process as far as when you first started looking to become a pro, when you were getting an agent, finding a contract that suited you. What was that process like for you making this jump to the pros?
yeah, that's a great question. And it's a great question because I had no clue what I was doing really when I was first looking into it. I knew I always wanted to play professionally, as a kid growing up and stuff. But as you get older, and you don't really know what you want to do if you don't have that same passion and love for the game. And I ended up, really committing to wanting to play professionally overseas. And the whole process of getting an agent for me, it was really just trying to connect with people who have done it. I connected with Chase Feeler, um, absolute legend at FGCU, who paved the way for really everybody who's there today, that whole Dunk City team. So shout out to him. He helped me out tremendously in this process. He got me connected with the agent. That didn't really work out. And then Coach Kyle Griffin, we call him KG, he set me up with the agent. Ended up working with her, and she kind of took the reins from there, and kind of did everything for me in that aspect, because I really had no clue what I was doing getting into this. So for me, I wasn't, towards the end of my career, I wasn't, agents weren't coming at me trying to hit me up and stuff. A lot of times when you're you have a really good college career, you can test the NBA waters and stuff like that. It'll be kind of like a recruitment almost in the aspect of going to college. You'll have agents hitting you up and trying to, work for you and stuff like that. But KG set me up with a great agent. She had connections in Portugal, and then that's kind of the history. That's kind of where I'm at.
There you go, man. And obviously going to a whole new country, overseas, away from home, it's a totally different experience, not just on the court, but also off the court. What have been the biggest adaptations that you've really had to make, not just as a basketball player, but as a person in this whole new country for you?
Um, yeah, there's been a lot of different changes. For me, I feel like I'm kind of in I don't know if it's a unique situation, but a little different than the rest of, college players making the transition, because most times out of high school, you're leaving your home state, hometown, and traveling across the country to go to play college basketball. And for me, I never left my hometown for the most part. I was always home. I was 30 minutes away. I could go see my parents. All my friends, for the most part, were still in Fort Myers during my college time. So um, leaving, for the first time ever, and it was in a foreign country, different language, didn't know anybody. The dude who picked me up is our team manager. Had no idea who he was before. This experience, it was a big shock. It was really hard for me off the court, just adjusting, knowing I was going to be here for 9 months. So I think it was a way bigger transition for me off the court than it was on the court, just because I've been, obviously been playing basketball my whole life. But once things settled in, it was a really smooth experience. I think from a basketball standpoint, um, I think it's a unique opportunity for everybody, because you can kind of restart your slate a little bit at the professional level. Um, just nobody knows you, and you get the opportunity, kind of, you know, what's the right word I'm trying to look for? Maybe serve a bigger role, if you will, in your rookie year and stuff like that, as you're trying to work your way up. But I have great teammates out here, a really good coach, who I love playing for. He played 22 years over here. He's an absolute legend over here. So it's been a really fun time for me.
Yeah, and you've had some big games on the court since you've been there. You had 26 points and 10 rebounds versus Sporting, 12 points, 12 rebounds versus Les Lusitania. I might have put 13 points and 11 assists versus Overends. I think I said that one right too.
Yep.
So talk to me real quick about the on the court stuff. What has it been like playing, for a very talented team along, you're going against, you and I talked about it before we started this, you're going against former NBA players. What has that experience been like for you on the court?
Yeah, it's been so I'm primarily playing point guard the entire game out here, which is a little bit different, because out of high school I got recruited to play point guard in college. And that kind of I played point guard here and there in college if a dude went hurt, or if I was serving as a backup and stuff like that. But I was never really primarily a point guard. Out here I have the ball in my hands a ton. So it's been an adjustment for sure, because there's new things you gotta learn as far as trying to control the game and stuff, getting teammates involved. So I would say that's been an adjustment, and I really enjoyed playing point guard. That's kind of what I was recruited to play out of high school. So, but as far as the competition level, there's a lot of great players out here, big names. But the style of play is just so different. It's a 24-second shot clock. Um, it's the pace is way different. The defensive strategies are different. I would say it's more of I don't know if relaxed is the right word, but just more of I guess a relaxed setting as far as intensity and stuff like that. Like practices are different. Obviously, it's a 9-month season, so practice has got to kind of be a little different. You can't, go into the gym for 3 hours a day and just go at it every day because it's a long season. You got to kind of take care of your body and stuff like that. And we only play one time a week, so that you're practicing 6 times a week, playing once, or 5 times a week, playing once, 1 day off. So it's been a lot different, but it's been a really fun time, man.
That's awesome. And now, like I mentioned before, you're wrapping up your rookie season. You're in the playoffs now. Moving forward with your career, how are you looking to, continue playing at the professional level and, continue to grow your game as well?
That's a great question because I don't really know if I'm gonna keep playing. It's something I'm trying to weigh right now as far as that goes. It's playing overseas. It's a really big commitment, and I have a lot of respect for people who choose to do this after kind of going through it. It's definitely something you really gotta love. I think you gotta love the pursuit of basketball. I think it's something you got to be really passionate about. You got to have a little bit of purpose in it. You're away from your family for 9 months for the most part. I know people, have wives and kids over here. I know Chase Fielder, for example. He's created a whole life doing this. I know this is what he loves to do, and he's done it at such a high level. But yeah, it's something I'm trying to weigh right now just to see where my head's at and if it's something I want to continue doing.
Hey man, well, no matter what decision you make, I always got your back. I'm always going to be supporting you. I've been able to
Appreciate you.
I've been able to watch your career, the past 5, now 6 years, I believe, since you started college ball. Because as FGC used to call you, you were the hometown hero. Everybody loved your stance for you from Cape Coral and Fort Myers. So I'm beyond proud of you, man. I'm excited to see where your journey takes you. And thank you so much for doing this interview with me.
Man, I appreciate you. I thank you for just chatting. It's always good to talk, regardless of what setting it's in. So I appreciate you, and I think it's really cool what you're doing with these interviews and giving a lot of dudes a platform to kind of share their experiences. So appreciate you, man.